All right, time for an instant reaction. Buffalo beats Tampa Bay as expected. One of the things about tonight, it was a perfect game to kick off the week. And if you ever go to therapy in life, and I've been going to therapy for a long time, and one of the reasons I do therapy every Wednesday with my wife, Ann, and I look forward to it every week. It's not about winning. It's about self-awareness. How does she view me? I think it makes our relationship really strong and fun. We often laugh during it. We've cried during it. But one of the reasons I like therapy is because it's a mirror. And I like to look and see all sorts of things about me. My flaws, where I'm vulnerable, where I can be better. Because I love my wife. And and I want to make her life as good as possible and kind of be the best me I can, right? So without getting too personal or too into that, is that I've always thought when it comes to pro football is that you have these mirror moments where you have to look yourself in the mirror. And you can fool a lot of people in September and early October. The weather's good. Teams that aren't very physical, have some nice skill players. Miami Dolphins, you can fool a lot of people for about 6 weeks in this league. And I thought the Philadelphia-Miami game last week was a real moment where Miami had to look itself in the mirror and go, we're kind of a fake gold watch. We're leasing the speedboat. These are not really Gucci loafers. We can't really play with physical teams. And that's okay. The weather gets colder. They don't have good O-line, D-line play. And as the weather gets colder and it gets windier, physicality beats speed. And I also thought tonight was a great example where Tampa is convincing themselves, because they do have some really nice players, of what they think they are. Buffalo is what they want to be. What they want is to have a superstar quarterback. And Baker was the number one pick. He's not a superstar quarterback. Josh Allen is. They want to have the physicality, kind of the overall momentum of the franchise. And I think when you get to week 7 and week 8, and there are going to be games this week, the Texans are a good team, the Panthers are not. I think you'll see that. The Lions are a good team, the Raiders are not. You'll see that. Ravens are a good team, the Cardinals are not. Cardinals, Vegas won that first game going to Denver and Mile High. They felt really good about themselves. Carolina competitive early. Tampa Bay for an hour led their division. You start getting to week 7 and 8, you got to kind of look in the mirror. Got to have a little self-awareness. Tampa's not a very good football team. Buffalo's one of the better football teams. And I think Miami last weekend, and Miami's still really talented, top 10, 12 team in the league. But you really can fool a lot of people in this league. Teams that are average convince themselves they're pretty good. Teams that are pretty good convince themselves they're very good. And Tampa was really talking a game for about 4 or 5 weeks. And here's what they are. Not close to being able to go on the road and control a game tonight. And that's why I think that's one of the reasons I like to go to therapy, is that you can convince yourself of all sorts of things. But when somebody, a neutral voice, comes and says, no, that's not really true. No, that doesn't really work. No, that's not going to pass a smell test. It's really refreshing. It's kind of like, oh, I can't bullshit people. I can't bullshit anybody. I got a neutral voice. Week 7 and 8 is that neutral voice in the NFL. You're not fooling anybody, Miami. You're a track meet team. You're not going to win the Super Bowl without that kind of line play. Miami's line play is just not good enough to win a Super Bowl. Buffalo's may not be. Philadelphia may not be. But they're much more built for the duration and not September. Another topic I had today is I thought it was a gutsy move. One of my favorite things about Dana White in the UFC is sort of this quality that he is willing to put himself out there and be completely vulnerable and be hated. During COVID, a lot of people, the media was really pushing back when Dana White went and leased an island. And he just said, I don't give a rip. I don't think my fighters are in peril, in danger. I'm going to go to an island. And he was right. 35-year-old athletes were not in danger. Kids were not in danger, despite what the media wanted to claim. And so Dana, again, took a big swing recently with Bud Light. So Bud Light, Real Men of Genius, very popular beer. And then they had a marketing pivot to something that I thought was, for a lot of people, it was too much too quickly. But I wasn't outraged by it because I don't know if I've ever had a Bud Light. I'm not a full outrage guy. And one of the things I thought about is the UFC fans have pushed back on Dana, and Dana's pushed back on them. Is that one of the things I've always appreciated about Dana, and Dana and I have gone back and forth on stuff. Whether Dana and I agree on things, he's totally upfront with me. I try to be totally upfront with him. He's confrontational. I can be. We've resolved any brief issues we've had. And we don't really have many because I think I really respect him and he's always been good to me. But one of the things that happened, so I went to 3 UFC cards this summer, and I knew Donald Trump was going to be at 1 or 2 of them. I knew that beforehand. But I wasn't going to let Trump, who I think is a buffoon and a narcissist, get in the way of my fun. And the reason being is there's an old adage, be less selfish. I don't believe in it. At the volume, I believe our motto should be more selfish. Because more selfish means happy and less fake outrage. You don't really care what the marketing campaign for Bud Light is. You just needed something to be outraged by. Remember years ago, people outraged by the Dixie Chicks? Let's be honest, you didn't love their music. That's okay. Wasn't my cup of tea either. Is that when you're selfish, and by the way, you loved Michael Jordan. He was selfish. All you MJ fans, MJ didn't pass. Punched the teammate. People called him an ass, difficult. You don't like LeBron. LeBron passes and elevates others. You loved Kobe and MJ. Tom Brady didn't let his backup have snaps. He wanted Garoppolo out of town. Selfish. I'm on Team Tom. Garoppolo shouldn't get snaps. Brady should get all of them. You want to win Super Bowls? Garoppolo's not the guy. Brady was. You want to win titles? Don't pass to Matthew Dellavedova. Take the shot, LeBron. Michael Jordan. Take more shots. Kobe. Take more shots. People look at selfish as mean. I look at selfish as often realistic and happy. I care about my wife and my children, my business, my employees, and a small group of friends. I go to UFC cards even if Trump is there. Why would I let Trump get in the way of my happiness? I'm going to be selfish and have fun. I took my cousin Matt and then my friend Eric and his kids. I didn't care if Trump was there. I would never vote for Trump. I'm not going to let Trump dissuade my plans, get in the way of my happiness. The athletes that we truly love are selfish. Brady, MJ, Kobe, Shaq. I mean, how many commercials does Shaq have? 600. You think he's worried about you? He's worried about his commercials in his bank. Good for Shaq. Shaq takes care of Shaq. Is that when I see all this outrage and I can't believe this politician and this band and this beer company, I don't care. I just want to have fun and be happy. I have people occasionally say, Colin, you have a great job. I'm like, yeah, I get up, I got to talk about sports. It's just, I'm happy. When I first met my wife, she said, you live your best life. I'm like, yeah, I'd love you to be part of it. But I don't have a lot of time to be unhappy. Jerry Jones always says this. I don't have a lot of time for a bad time. You view selfish as mean. I view it as happy. If you don't want to watch UFC, don't. I'll take your seats. But I don't let people get in the way of my fun. Politicians, beer companies, ad campaigns, musicians, Hollywood. What do I care what a Hollywood writer votes? If the show's funny, I watch. I figure everybody that works for Netflix who writes and acts is probably left-leaning. I probably disagree with them at 90% of their political views. What do I care? If the show's funny, I'm watching. Netflix and chill. Oh, for the record, Travis Kelce, who's dating Taylor Swift, who's worth like $4 billion. He did a Pfizer commercial and a Bud Light commercial. He's not pretending he's outraged. He's taking care of Travis Kelce and his business. I don't have to agree with it, but he's not faking outrage. He's being sort of selfish. And I love the Chiefs, and I'm going to keep watching them because they're usually the most entertaining team in the league on Sunday. Am I not going to watch the Chiefs and Travis Kelce? I can't watch that whole Pfizer thing. You don't want to get a vaccine, don't get one. What do I care? But I want to watch Travis Kelce. All right, time for another edition of the VLTED Challenge. Remember, you can download the VLTED app. It's very simple, VLTED. It's a place where you can store your sports predictions without an entry fee, participate in cash pools. Whether it's basketball, baseball, World Series now, or football, VLTED's the place to show off your sports knowledge. VLTED has it all. Download the app right now. It takes a couple of minutes. VLTED, the Colin Cowherd Week 8 pool. Join that right now. Chance to win $2,500 in cash prizes. All you have to do is answer some questions, have risk confidence points. How much are you willing to risk? How big is your confidence? Congratulations to David Levin. Last week won $2,000 from the VLTED app. How great is that? He will also receive an exclusive challenge for me on the VLTED app. Same stakes, first place, $2,000. Winner gets to compete in a one-on-one challenge against me. Make sure to join my Week 8 pool. Remember, VLTED offers free pools, cash prizes every single day. Last week, J-Mac went 3-0 for the first time this year, took a lead. After 7 weeks, I'm down 6 units. J-Mac is up 6 units. The first one to 50 wins the VLTED Challenge. I've already made my predictions for Week 8. Jason wants to challenge me on the predictions he disagrees with, so here we go. All right, let's go to college football. UCLA hosting Colorado. Bruins a 17-point favorite. I'm risking 8 units. I'll take the Bruins here. J-Mac, why do you accept my VLTED challenge?
I mean, you're giving me 3 scores here. Goodness gracious. I mean, Travis Hunter's back. Deion Sanders has his mojo. Listen, I don't think Colorado wins this, but just like that USC game, this is a team that will not stop fighting. They will keep the aerial assault on. I think they can cover 17. I'll give you the UCLA victory, but give me the Buffaloes getting 17.
All right, number 8, Oregon at number 13, Utah. Utes are really tough in the altitude at home. I think they cover the plus 6.5 against the Ducks. I'm risking 13 units here.
Oh, dear.
Why do you, Jason, accept my VLTED challenge?
Do I need to reverse course? 13 units? Do you know something? Listen, if this game were at night, I would not take the Ducks, right? The night scene at Rice Eccles is crazy. But Utah coming down a little bit off the big USC victory, and this Oregon team feels like it's on a mission. I know the Bo Nix home road splits are kind of vast, and he has been subpar on the road, but this feels like a good spot for Oregon. I don't think this is a great Utah team, great coach, no doubt about it. But I don't think the kid from Lowe's who was working hardware 2 months ago, I don't think he gets it done against the Ducks. I'll take the 6.5.
Over to the NFL, Texans at the Panthers, one of my favorite plays. I'm going to take the Texans minus 3.5. I'm going to risk 9 units here. Jason, why do you accept my VLTED challenge?
Ooh, you're going heavy this week. Listen, we saw the big move in Carolina. Frank Reich has given over the play calling duties to Thomas Brown. Who the heck is that? Well, that's a former Sean McVay guy. So expect a lot more motion pre-snap, a lot of fun, interesting sets. I would expect a lot of 3 wides. I think Carolina comes out and moves the football. I think they score a lot of points. And I cannot believe you are taking a rookie quarterback laying over a field goal on the road. Come on, Panthers, get that first win or at least stay within the number.
All right, I'm going to predict, Jason, the Jags cover minus 2.5 at the Steelers. I'll risk 12 units here. Big swings. Why do you accept my VLTED challenge?
Well, you are going heavy this weekend. Well, listen, there's this little funny thing we talk about called Mike Tomlin as a home underdog. It feels automatic. It's like a layup. Mike Tomlin at home getting points. Listen, I know Pittsburgh has not been great. They've been outgained in every game this season, kind of embarrassing. But I just saw a new Pittsburgh offense with Deontay Johnson, opposite Pickens. They're finally working Warren into the mix more. I don't love the Jags defense. I think this is a great game down to the wire, but I think Pittsburgh comes out on top.
So those are my predictions for Week 8. They are now locked into the VLTED app. If you want to prove you're smarter than your friends, go download the VLTED app. Use the challenge feature on any sport of your choice. Enter the Colin Cowherd Week 8 pool. You'll have a chance to beat me, win $2,000. That's what first place pays out. Remember, VLTED is spelled VLTED, and the QR code is right on the screen.